Hi, boys and girls. Welcome back to the Apocablog. Day 1498 of thinking that we really, really need to start paying more attention to these people. Author says Trump will lead army of terrorists. Encourages Biden voters to spy on them. A viral video posted to Twitter by best-selling author says Trump plans to lead army of domestic terrorists, encourages Biden's voters to spy on their activity and report them to authorities. The clip posted by Don Winslow has received 37,000 likes and has been viewed over 3 million times. Now, on January 20th, Donald Trump will no longer be commander-in-chief. He will lose control of the U.S. Armed Forces and take control of a new army. The new army is named as Radical Extreme Conservatives, also known as domestic terrorists, but of course, and is illustrated by thousands of images of Trump supporters who attended the protest in D.C. earlier this month. What could possibly go wrong with that? The video then warns that these terrorists work normal jobs. I wonder what they're trying to say there. And that many of them attended the Capitol with the intention of killing Nancy Pelosi and hanging Vice President Mike Pence. In the years ahead, Trump will lead his army of domestic terrorists. He will encourage and incite violence, states Winslow, adding that Trump will use his army of terrorists to start a civil war. Winslow says the solution is an army of citizen detectives. Could have sworn I've heard something like this before, who will monitor extremists on the internet and report their findings to authorities, citing how a CIA analyst discovered the location of terror mastermind Osama bin Laden before his capture. Oh, by the way, his capture. So apparently he's not at the bottom of the ocean? Interesting. It's up to you. The video ends along with the hashtag Trump's new army. And so 3 million views, 37,000 likes. And then, of course, we get the, where do I go to enlist? Everything I send to the FBI, it might have been sent more than once, but I want to protect my country. Numerous other respondents asked where they should be reporting their tips. Where would be the best place to report? I mean, we don't know if we can trust all our local detectives because, is there a website and or number that would be something that we could definitely trust? So, there's a reason for this. Trump allies don't believe in governance. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi appeared to conclude that Trump and his allies don't believe in governance. Her explanation on an episode of Hillary Clinton's podcast, You and Me Both, the two Democrat nags, discussed a range of topics, primarily Capitol protests that took place on January 6th. However, briefly discussed the Chinese coronavirus. Just heartbreaking that while this attack on our democracy proceeds, the number of Americans dying from COVID is going up. Small businesses keep closing because of you. Unemployment requests keep rising because of you. The vaccine rollout is too slow because, they got it done in 9 months instead of 3 to 5 years. And thank God it's so slow. Explaining lawmakers trying to balance addressing the riot, and which Pelosi said Congress can't move on from. Funny, you moved on from a year and a half of fucking BLM, as well as the very urgent needs of the American people. It makes a big difference, blah, blah. Oh, the day of insurrection, 3,686 people died of coronavirus. The next day, 4,000 people died. The record just keeps getting broken. It's so sad, Pelosi said before accusing Trump of not taking the virus seriously and concluding that they don't believe in governance. And when you think it's January, go back a year when the president was first apprised of this, when he shut down travel from China and you called him a fucking xenophobe, you cunt. It's a hoax, denial, delay, rejection of science, rejection of governance. See, they don't believe in governance. So if the government says wear a mask, they have to reject governance, and they reject the science that says wear a mask. Because there's no science that says wear a mask, you dumb fuck. And let me explain why. A year ago, if a construction site would have given one of these things that we're parading around as protective gear to the people on their site, to the kid sweeping the fucking the dust off the floor, to the illegal alien in there sanding fucking joint compound on sheetrock. If you would have given them one of these masks, you would have been shut down, probably gone to jail, paid a fuck ton of fines, because the mask doesn't stop. These masks do not stop particulates. Now, if you compare the size of a piece of fucking sheetrock dust to a virus, and you conclude that mask, now the mask that wouldn't stop the sheetrock dust is going to keep you from getting a virus, you're a fucking retard. But in the midst of all this, of course, NBC's whatever far-right domestic terror, more of a threat and more dangerous than Al-Qaeda after 9/11. Blacklist Fox News as we do with foreign terrorist groups. Stevie Wonder uses MLK Day to urge Biden to establish a truth commission. I'm calling on President Biden and Harris. Interesting fucking choice of words there. To launch a formal government investigation to establish the truth of inequality in this country. We must define the truth in the facts that support them, not in the facts. Okay. And declare them absolute. Oh, okay, so now we're having just, well, this is what I said, live with it, fuck. Those who promote lies and false truth must be held accountable. It's the only way we can move forward. The singer added, it's time to formally seek the truth and formally declare fact. We need a truth commission that forces this country to look at its lies. Those in leadership who won't or don't acknowledge the truth should be held accountable. He later said, I call on those in the Senate to speak truth to what they know, they can physically see, and begin the steps of accountability, forgiveness, and healing. Now, the left has been ramping up calls for a truth commission for quite a while now. And of course, they're always in with the intent of investigating Trump allies and supporters. And Bill Clinton ally Robert Reich argued in October that after the election, we need a Truth and Reconciliation Commission that would erase Trump's lies. The former Labor Secretary's comments, blah, 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 whatever. And in the midst of all that, now, and again, to erase all of Trump's lies, in other words, anything that he said. Steve Schmidt, Trump Republicans will not write their history. We will write their history. So, again, they're telling you that they plan to fucking just erase and punish and deplatform and possibly, imprison. And we will have re-education camps. And there's a couple of reasons for this, but the main one is that now that we're all domestic terrorists, you're about to see the largest attempted gun grab in global history. Because they're calling us insurrectionists, they're calling us seditionists, they're calling us fucking domestic terrorists, and they're doing it with intent, not just to take away our jobs and ruin our lives. They're doing it to be able to disarm us so that, again, we become the fucking Uyghurs, 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 whatever the fuck they're called over in China. So start paying attention, people. You better wake the fuck up and crawl up your representative's ass, but while you still have a representative with an ass to fucking crawl up, because these people are not going to be satisfied until we're in a fucking gulag.